What's the theme for tonight?
Thundering.
Thunder.
Whatever.
Yeah, we have thunder coming our way, so it's thundering Thursday, literally, and it's about 100 miles west of us, but it looks very bad and it's scary. They say it might dissipate by the time it gets here. Well, I'm still growing this beard. I don't know when I'm going to shave it.
No, it looks
Michael
for now. For now,
Huh?
It looks great for now.
Yeah, Michael Comoro said, "So you don't shave because of laziness?" I said, "Exactly. It's just easier in the morning to shave my neck. I don't like hair on my neck, and then trim it here a little bit, and then that's it." Okay, so
That's the answer I give people. So what they say, why don't you do this? How come you don't do that? Laziness. I don't feel like it. I don't have the enthusiasm or the desire.
right. But who knows? Maybe I'll go clean again. So tonight on Thundering Thursday of Thundering Extravaganzas, we have James P. Madonna of New Jersey. We have the Whisky Scout in Kansas. Robert the Whisky Scout. We have Thomas Meadow 75 Massachusetts Beer Reviews, of course. Eric Fromfelter in Massachusetts. Hey, Ronnie, you could join us if you want. Anybody can join. We welcome anybody, but we can't welcome more than 5 besides myself because of the limit. I'm almost to the limit on my minutes. They told me you're about to go over your minutes.
Hey, there's no way I'm going to pay to go to live stream. I ain't paying no money to talk.
It gets renewed tomorrow anyway. It gets renewed tomorrow. So if we abruptly shut off, you'll know why. All right. I did a rock album review earlier today. That went well.
Look at that haircut. I just saw it.
Then people started calling me.
Look at the profile on that guy. Look at him. Wow, that's exotic.
People start calling me on the phone and get me discombobulated, want to talk forever. Well, tonight, this is what I have tonight. I have a rum taste challenge. I have from 1862 Bacardi Superior Gold Rum, family owned by a family named Bacardi.
Santiago, Cuba. Santiago, Cuba.
Yeah, Santiago de Cuba. But they left Cuba because of the communists, and so they went to Puerto Rico, and the family took all their recipes and whatever equipment they could take from the criminal thieves that took over Cuba. So there you go. Beautiful bottle. A little expensive in Louisiana. But the challenger is lowly old Ron Pontalba Gold. And I bought this at Kevin's, and it was $6.99 for a liter. It was introduced in 1989, and it's basic, of course. What do you expect for that price? But we'll see what happens. I assume the Bacardi is going to win, but we'll see. Now, James has something interesting.
By the way, Santiago, Cuba is the far eastern tip of that elongated island that the far east facing Haiti. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Santiago.
Right. Yeah. Those that care about geography. Now, I have something to show the fans of my large-breasted shot glass. It's good news. I have noticed that the bikini top is starting to wear off, which means that my shot glass will eventually become topless. And I can feel nipples. So, I mean, it's not, actually, this is a good thing. And Mr. Whisky Scout is getting amused. This is a very good thing for you booby shot glass fans out there. Look, it's wearing out. Okay, now, what I brought is, well, you got
so high.
to have a little.
All right.
You're doing all right, James. You're doing all right.
All right, I got Duar's white label. And, of course, I got the website up. Double fermented John Duar, whatever you want to say.
Duar.
It's like,
are you a doer?
Do her already.
You're a doer. You're not you don't sit around. You're a doer. You do things.
You could do her as in female. Now it was founded, which is a word that cracks me up.
All right, what now? I'm sorry.
It was founded in 1846 by John Dewar and Sons, and he grew from a small wine and spirits merchant in Perth, Scotland. And now the rest is history, and that's what I got. To the Whiskey Scout.
I think tonight I'll do the Mezcal Vita. It's an artisanal mezcal, and Vita belongs to how do I want to say this? They're a Sazerac company, but there's several of these, and this is like from Del Maguey. This is like the entry level one. This is your entry level. It's the least expensive. It's around $30 or so. I got another one down there that's a little more expensive from Del Maguey. But it's kind of like your entry into mezcals. The mezcals differ from tequila, as in they do not use blue agave. They use other kinds of agave. In this case, I thought it said on there, 100% Espadin agave. Espadin. E-S-P-A-D-I-N. Espadin. And just a white or Blanco mezcal.
Very educational statement you made, because I distinctly can tell the difference between mezcal and standard tequila, without a doubt.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference.
Mezcal is definitely more smoky and just a lot more intense flavor than most of your tequilas have.
Nice.
Now, I don't want to say anything because you might have it with you.
I'll tell you one thing, Sazerac owns a lot of companies. God.
Yes, they do. Need to get a glass ready for this.
And it looks like those companies sort of have independent operations under the umbrella. Now, Thomas Meadow, what do you have tonight on Thunder and Thursday?
I got a Michael Komarov special here. It comes from 6 Point, and the beer is called Puff Puff, which
I've seen that picture earlier.
A version of their beer at 6 Point they do called Resin, and they do a version called Puff, but this is Puff Puff, which is one of their hazy unfiltered versions of Resin. This one is a 9.8% 7 DIBU beer, and they say it's amped up with a special blend of dry hops by 2 times. So this is a double dry hopped cloudy version of Resin from 6 Point. Puff, puff.
Wow. And what's the ABV again?
9.8%. And this was canned on September 30th, 2019. They say it's best before March 28th. So let's get drinking on that, I guess.
Now, I have 2 80 proof rums, and James P. Madonna's Dewar's 3-year age is 80 proof. And I assume the Vita's 80, or is it higher?
It is 42%, so it's 84.
All right.
Oh.
And it comes
And
from. Go ahead.
I guess that means life, Vita, life.
Yeah, Vita is life. Yeah, it means life in Spanish.
Yeah. James P. Madonna, you're going to be proud of me before we go on.
Okay. You got. You got. Oh, look at that! He's got grants. the wedge-shaped bottle.
Wedge-shaped.
Well, this is a big one that's rounded.
Oh, okay. The big one is not. All right, the small one is wedge.
Yeah, I bought the big one because it was a better price per ounce. Oh, look at that old bottle.
The Delta. They call that Delta triangular.
Now, when you see
that
that tax on there, that means that was probably before 1984.
And that's
because in 83 was the year they stopped using them. Wow.
Yeah. And look at the fill level; it's down a lot. I've never opened it. I bought it at a little liquor store in far western Kansas.
And that.
What happened to Angel's Fair?
Yeah, that would be definitely just a little evaporation. When I got it, the lid was just a tiny bit loose. So every once in a while, when you got something old like this, especially with the screw lids, you just need to give it you don't want to wrench. You're not trying to wrench, but just a little bit of firm turn, and just to make sure it stays tight. But that was one of my rarer finds.
That was the second best value to Glen Silver. I could find it.
In 1980, in the early to mid 80s, the Scotch whiskey industry was experiencing a slump. So a lot of the stuff they manufactured then had a lot older stuff in it because they had a hard time getting rid of a lot of the old stocks they had, nobody was buying it.
Mhm.
Some of these, you got some older whiskeys now. I couldn't tell you with this. I'm scared to open it. I don't want to open it. I mean,
What's the
I
purpose of
should,
buying?
but I don't, it's hard to do. It's so old.
It's hard to do
You
it.
can't bring yourself to do it. Okay, well,
Good.
that's a pretty cool thing you showed us. And my Grants is old, like from about a year ago. All right, anyway,
Older than
something like
today.
that. I asked the girl at the customer service, I said, we're going to get into our drinks now. I asked the girl at customer service, I said, I need Grants. She's looking around. I said, Grants, it's on the top shelf. It's down there. Where is it? I said, it's literally right in front of where you're standing. And she couldn't see it. So she finally got it, and she said, we don't sell this. Meaning,
She's a
it
Twilight.
doesn't sell. What she meant was, it's it's such a poor seller that she never grabbed any because no one buys it. That's what she meant.
Yeah.
I said, I bet you sell a lot of Crown Royal though. She said, yeah. Okay. I'm going to start. So what she meant was she wasn't familiar with it because no one ever asked for it. But I got it on sale for $26.99. And it's a 1,750 milliliter. And I got a $15 gift card. So it only cost me, a little bit. Okay. Anyway, here's my two rums. You'll notice one is much lighter than the other. This one is pretty light. It's gold. Now this one is, dark. And I think it's got coloring added. And I think it's the Ron Pontalba because you get these inexpensive ones, they try to make them look better than they are. Now, let's go with the aroma. I'm not going to go long. 25, 30 minutes, I'm done. No, I'm kidding. All right. This one smells like liquor. You know what I mean? Liquor, like straight alcohol burn in your nose. It's not a bad aroma, but I'm really just picking up wood, meaning oak, and an alcohol burn. You could get somebody to smell that. I don't know if they might not know what it is, like a blind thing. What kind of liquor is this? They might say, I don't know. Is it whiskey? Is it rum? Is it brandy? That's how that one is. Now this one over here, oh, ha, ha, ha. It's so much richer in the nose. It's sweet, sugary. It's got flower notes, caramel, even things I can't describe. It's like more complex than what I can describe. So that's a good sign. And I know what it's got to be. But I'll give it the taste. Y'all know where I'm going with this. That's very basic. Light rum, a lot of wood, and I mean a lot of wood, and some charcoal, like maybe they have some secret charcoal blend because they do that. Bacardi, I think, says they use, 8 different charcoals that they drip it through, but they won't tell you what it is. But anyway, this one's very basic, and you figure it must be the $6.99 a liter bottle. It's so not bad. No off flavors, no off aromas. It's just generic. That's the word I'm looking for, generic. Now this one, it's so much richer. You've got elegant wood. You've got those things I can't even describe. It's like it's like, we had New Year's Eve the other night and all the explosions in the sky, which I wasn't looking at, but that kind of thing. This thing explodes with taste. It's got the wood and the charcoal and the flowers, the floral notes.
Yeah, morning wood explodes with taste also.
The what?
Morning wood has an explosion of taste.
Wormwood?
Yeah, wormwood. No. That's mugwort. That's a medicinal herb. Or it could be something in the end time prophecy too, I think.
Okay. Now, so this is obviously the Bacardi, and that one is obviously the Ron Pontalba. I did a Ron Pontalba solo review earlier today, and I know that's the taste. So the Bacardi is the clear winner. I mean, it's the clear winner. Now you're going to pay $14 here for a regular standard size bottle. and here you can get this for $6.99. But it's a how you want to make a trade-off. If you want to pay $6.99 for a liter and get something very bland but good, I would say you could even say in the 80s, like 84. No, that'd be a little high, 83. But this one here, oh man, this is through the roof. It is winning every battle, every taste, facility, every characteristic is dynamite. You're going to get a great payoff with Bacardi. I hear people slag on Bacardi and talk about, it ain't that good. I would say wrong, wrong, wrong. And that ain't no code. That's just the way I feel about it. And I'm unanimous in that. Now, we're going to go to James P. Madonna.
Okay, hold on, please. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, well, I still say Bacardi Black is one of the finest bangs for the buck in rum. I mean,
I agree, and I think the gold is really winning here.
Or the I've had their añejo, their extra aged. Now I'm going to pour this. Now the company, they were rather colorful in their description of the flavor of this Dewar's white label. It says a swirl of honey, a sprig of Scottish heather, a golden warm fresh vanilla, slice of pear, blah 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 blah. Okay, that sounds good. Now I'm going to pour it.
Yeah, I've noticed over the years these liquor companies tend to overplay what you're actually getting. Although it could be a case where I just don't have the ability to pick up what they're.
The fine restaurants or the popular franchise chains do that with menus. If you read a certain meal that you're thinking of ordering, they go on and play a big violin, and use fancy words. Okay. All right, now we'll smell and taste. I'm starting to get some Scotch and Irish whiskey experience. Some. Definitely has the smoky aroma with a touch of honey and vanilla. They're right about that. Oh, that's quite good.
I tried some of that Dewar's once. Last year down the street, that man wanted me to try it, and we made a video.
It's smooth, like patties.
Patties.
It actually reminds me a lot of the Grants.
I'm curious about that Grants.
Well, the Grants is definitely going to be cheaper, much lower in price than a large bottle of Dewar's. Got double aged, but
well,
yeah, it's got smokiness is what stands out, and smoothness, and that's all I can really say. I know Whisky Scout can better detect characteristics because he's Whisky Scout. Now, Thomas Meadow 75 told me that it's not easy to critique whiskeys.
No,
it's more of a challenge than, let's say, a craft beer. And
it's pretty dang hard. I gotta say that, boy. I struggle terribly with trying to describe these whiskeys and rums and brandies that I try. I don't think I do a particularly good job, but some people do think I do.
And he brought a very fine product on a private hangout show one time that was considered a.
Oh yeah, Eric. He said one time he wants you to come on here and review that whiskey.
Top of the line. And I'm not going to say what it is because we'll leave it as a surprise review when he decides if he wants to do it. But anyway, it does remind me a lot of comparing the patties to a Jameson's. It's very smooth. The Buchanan's was very good. Remember when I brought the Buchanan?
Oh, that's a jewel, that one.
Yeah, the 12-year Buchanan's 12-year. Yeah.
I think Buchanan's beats the fool out of Dewar's, but that's just my opinion. I haven't had a lot of experience with Dewar's.
No, I agree.
It does. I will say it emphatically. It does.
I mean,
Buchanan is much better than Dewar's.
Yeah, I mean, for the price that they probably want for a large bottle of this,
should be around 20, 21 bucks.
It's not as expensive as you're thinking. It's not as expensive as you think.
yeah, you know. But it's good. I mean, it's not mediocre or bad. Let's put it that way. I would definitely, if it's in that price range, I would definitely drink it again. If there was no Grants or no Buchanans, I would get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Well, I'll say one thing about Dewar's. It's got its followers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you got to admit that.
But most, well, I'll wait.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna
Yeah, right.
We'll go to Thomas Meadow, who's chomping at the bit. I can see
Thomas Metal or me?
you.
Okay.
And Thomas.
Okay. The Dewar's, for instance, you're going to get a multi-component, a vanilla component with that.
Yeah.
Maybe a very slight fruity note that should be there. It's not going to be very dominant in any way, shape, or form, but there should be just an ever so slight apple pear background note in it. And it probably doesn't come until the beginning of your finish, right at the end of your sip and your palate, and it's lingered there. It should finish fairly quickly. It doesn't linger very much. And it's still going to be that kind of that malty barley malt note. Once you acquire that, it's easy to detect, really easy.
Well, you're right about the lingering being short-lived. You're correct.
Right. Yes. It doesn't last on the palate long. But, I did a review with that and the scratch cast side by side, which was basically the Dewar's White Label just amped up a little bit. And there's a definitive difference between the two. But when you step up to the Dewar's 12, the older bottles especially, that stuff's really good. I mean, that's not. Yeah. It's not. The newer bottles aren't as good. The newer 12s, you got to get the old blue label bottles for it to be a little bit better. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. On to this. Like I said, this is an entry-level mezcal. It even gives you, Del Maguey's real proud of their stuff. Del Maguey mezcals are twice distilled and unblended from 100% mature agave espadon and are produced in the original 500-year-old handcrafted artisanal way. There are no chemicals, colorings, or additives ever used in any Del Maguey single village mezcal like this. So this comes from Oaxaca, Mexico. That's where this comes from. So on the nose, there is a citrus component. There is that vegetal note that you often get with both mezcals and tequilas. There's a certain and that's your agave note, really. But the agaves have a lot of sugar, and what they do with the mezcals is they cook them in an earthen oven still. Now, some of the higher grade tequilas they do that with, but most tequilas are run through an autoclave anymore with the agaves. This is still we're going back to a more traditional way of producing it. That's why your flavors are more bold, more rich. They stand out a lot more. There's a salty component. I can just tell you, just from here to there, it's just there's this little slight salty note, just pervasive in the air. The citrusness is really nice on this. And a little sandalwood. I get sandalwood on the nose. Those are the main things I get. It's very appealing. It's mouth-watering, believe it or not. It's prickling to the tongue. There's a little bit of alcohol, but it's not detracting in any way, shape, or form. Once it warms the tongue, it passes over, goes down the back. You get just a sour vegetal note. It kind of dwells. Still get the sandalwood, a little bit of ginger. The citrus is there. But the citrus kind of blends with that sourness a little too, and that vegetal. It's all kind of one, and it's very bright on the palate. It's not It's light. And it just dwells on the side of the tongue real well. Aftertaste is good. I mean, I've had better ones. I can honestly say I've had better mezcals. But this, you have to remember, is an entry-level mezcal, and this is, you get what you pay for, and this is a good one. I enjoy it. I like the smokiness, because part of the processing of the mezcal is they bake it in an oven, a traditional done, and the ovens that they use, sometimes they use clay brick ovens, but the way they're supposed to do these is they bury them in a big pit, build a big fire, throw all the mezcals on, all the mezcal. It's a big round plant. They throw all the, I forget the word, the term they use for it, but they throw them all on top of each other. And then they bury it all with dirt and rocks until it's all covered up. And they'll bake it like that for, I don't know, a day or two at least before they uncover it. And that helps. It's like it helps change the molecular and brings out the sugars more when they do that. So then they go from there over to the Tahona, which they crush it and then they process it and put it in make a wort out of it, or well, it's a wort there. I don't know what they would call it from the tequila, but they make their fermented juice. Then from that they process it. So anyway,
well, I'll tell you what, their website is incredible. I mean, they give so many details about. I was looking at it while you were talking, and they give so many details on this product. Did you look at their website? Yes,
I have. It's been a while back, but I have looked at the site. Now I'm just operating on memory from that for the most part, and the little bit I've read on the bottle.
I have seen very few. I've never seen a liquor website give that much detail on the production of a product.
And each one of these is different. This one's from the Vida de San Luis del Rio. I forget. I'd have to dig that other one out. I don't remember. But it's a Del Maguey product too. It's a little higher dollar. I paid a little bit more money for it than this one. But
they said this company was founded in 1995, 25 years ago, by a guy named Ron Cooper.
Yeah,
Ron Cooper. Okay, now we're going to go. You mind if we go to Eric now?
No, I'm done.
Okay, I didn't want to be rude. Okay,
maybe Whisky Scout. That sounds like a good product.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're doing the Puff Puff. So 6 point. This is in Brooklyn, New York. It's 9.8% alcohol by volume and 70 IBUs. And I would have to guess it being in Brooklyn. It's certified kosher, but I don't see anything on the label.
You would have a certification on there.
Well, none that I know of. Besides, it's Independent Brewers Association certified. So the original beer here is resin from 6 point. It's their unfiltered double IPA, and then they make Puff, or that beer. The resin has Chinook and Centennial. And then they make this beer called Puff, which they say has Mosaic and Citra. They don't say what's in the Puff Puff on their website. I assume it's Mosaic and Citra, and it's double dry hopped. Depending on who you ask and where you go, double dry hopping is usually adding literally double the amount of hops to your beer. And most folks, I think most breweries are doing it, and they're staggering the amount of time that they put in the hops and how long between those times that they put those extra additional hops in. So double dry hopped, yes. It does look like a New England style IPA. I'm not really sure that's what they were going for, but it is the cloudy, hazy version. So quite possibly.
Now,
nice.
Eric, I'm looking at the website. Is that one made in Brooklyn, or is that one of the ones that they contract brew with the people in
It's
Memphis?
got Brooklyn, New York, and Memphis, Tennessee written on the actual can. So they mentioned both places.
Could be either one. Yeah, okay.
Could be either one, correct. So yeah, there's the look. New England, pretty much. Yes, I did get a nice haircut.
So did I. I got whacked, but I did that on purpose. Okay.
It looks good. Yeah, the nose definitely has a higher alcohol percentage feel to it. It's got a very oily, resinous. I can imagine this being a sticky kind of tasting beer. Lots of grapefruit, tons of grapefruit, a little bit of pininess, a little bit of like that orange grapefruit pithiness to it. But yeah, really big, oily, resinous double IPA. So Cheers to you all. Maybe even a white bready malt. Ooh, yeah, alcohol is highly perceivable. It doesn't burn too bad, but it's got a nice heft in the mouthfeel. Definitely very full-bodied, sticky, very resinous, oily, grapefruit pith, orange, some pineapple notes to it. Definitely very drying, but it leaves you with that sticky, oily feeling. And white bready malt, yes, it's got a good amount of sweetness to it. Wouldn't say it's the driest beer, but it does dry after a little while. So semi-dry, let's go with that. It is really, after a while, when it finally does dry, the back end of the palate is where all of the resinous, oily, bitter qualities to the beer are lingering. So very, very intensely hopped, very intense flavors of the 9.8%. I don't really think it's a bad beer. I do think it's better towards the room temperature, kind of where I have it. I just bought it today as a single on a shelf at the store. So not extremely cold, but it is a little cool. And yeah, take your time with this beer. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy. So if you like a bigger ABV beer, you like a bigger a bitterness to your beers, you like a higher IBU, yeah, the resin, the puff, and the puff from 6 Point are gonna suit you well. So far, so good. Lacing.
Okay. Now Eric was mocking my own mockery where I say 5.6% alcohol. So it's funny when people mock.
I don't know about the kosher-ness of this beer.
My mockery. I like when people mock my mockery.
How big a can was that, Thomas?
This is your standard 12-ounce can. They like to do these almost like these energy drink style, like slim cans.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Like they do with Coors.
They can fit these right in a box of 4, very nice and easily. So yeah, they do boxes of a lot of their 4-packs.
Yeah. I know Coors Brewing does a lot of those little skinny cans.
Yes.
And it makes people think they're smaller, but they're not.
The last time I bought Bud Light Platinum at 12-pack, they came in this style of can.
Oh, right. They do the skinny cans too. But if you drink it, you won't stay skinny. All right. If you drink a lot of that, you won't stay skinny. Like, oh, I ate this big can of Progresso split pea soup today with andouille sausage that I cut up and put in it. And then a slice of bread with butter. I think I put on a couple of pounds because it was. And then I had this piece of pumpkin pie. When I cut the pie and I sat down here to eat it, I said, that pie is too big. That's too big of a slice. But I ate it, of course, and I put some whipped cream on it. But I kind of went a little cuckoo today with eating. But those red onions that I diced up and put in that soup with the Valentina hot sauce from Mexico. And
Yeah, Valentina.
from Guadalajara, Mexico. You like it?
Yeah, I eat quite a bit of different hot sauces. There's that other bottle I was telling you about, the Del Maguey, the
Oh, that's pretty.
This one, yeah. They got similar green bottles and artwork. They just the way they look, but it's still with 100% Espadin though, but it's different. I haven't opened. I need to open it, but let's get this one quickly now.
I'm ignorant about mezcal and tequila. Especially, I've never had tequila in my life. Now, somebody sent me a Paloma tequila mixed ready to drink product, which I can get at Mather's, but a lot of times people send me beer that I can get, and I feel bad about it. But he also sent me some other dynamite products. Okay, here we go to the part of the show. I'm going to give a score. Well, obviously, the Sazerac Montalba is a sham compared to the Bacardi. Now, does Sazerac make some rums that can stand up to Bacardi rums? I'm sure they do, but this is definitely not a craft style rum. This is a utilitarian product It is probably drunk neat by 0% of its purchasers.
Oh,
That's right. I shed a tear because I'm missing you, but I'm still all right to smile. Look,
yes. Guns N' Roses.
What do you think you're going to get for $6.99 a liter?
A hangover.
This is what. But I'm still going to give it an 83 out of 100, even with all of that sort of utilitarian, commercial grade approach. It inspires no one. It gives me no vision for the future.
Happy 2020, everyone.
But it does what it's supposed to do, which is the most minimal job imaginable with a liquor. Now, would I buy it again? No, I would not. But that's not saying much because I don't ever buy anything again. All right, now, except for a few.
Coca-Cola for that one.
Except for a few select, you're right, Coca-Cola. Mix it with Coca-Cola, but probably be more appropriate to mix it with like Great Value or cola. All right, now.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be smart aleck about it. I'm just saying that's where it exists. That's in the. I bought some Great Value Vienna sausage today. Okay, well, hey, now the Bacardi. Hey, Alex, we ought to do a Vienna sausage. Oh, y'all did that. The Bacardi. Look, the Bacardi. Hey, you look at my cabinet and see all that Vienna sausage, you'd be laughing at my face.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, the Bacardi is a real winner. I don't care what anybody says. I know there's 200 people a day get on the internet, make videos ripping on Bacardi, talking about how trash it is. That's fine. I don't really care. I only drink for myself. I can only drink my own liquid, right? Makes sense. I love it. I think they do a great job. This is a winner. It's an A all the way. Are there way better rums? Obviously, if you're paying $14 a bottle, don't you think there's way better rums? Now, but this is where I'm working right now. I'm driving the Chevy Chevelle. I'm not driving a 1968 Rolls Royce Super Deluxe Space Capsule. Now,
Silver Cloud. Cruzan is a good value from the Virgin.
I can get that one day. You know, that's on my to get list. But I'm loving the Bacardi. It's everything about it is good. There's nothing bad. I mean, I just love it. Okay, but that's enough. I could go on and on. I love it. All right, that's the end. It's an A. It's 95 out of 100 every day, all day, forever in the rest of the history of the world. Now, James, what do you score the Dewar's 3-year age blended Scotch whiskey?
White label.
Well, comparing it to blended whiskeys only, Scotch whiskeys, I'll give it a 90% out of 100.
That's a pretty good score.
In that specific category, you know, I mean, I definitely had better, you know, but it's, I wouldn't say it's overrated. It's decent, but 90% out of 100. Oh, by the way, I just discovered that Dewar's has a 18-year-old single malt called Deveron. Yeah, they have that. But anyway,
One long time ago, 12.
Isn't that a gas station? Wait a minute, that's Chevron.
But it's long gone. I drank it.
Yummy, yeah.
It used to have a cork on it that you could throw at people. It's so heavy duty.
and a cork. I mean,
Cork stop. Wait.
Yeah, they always.
Let me say this real fast. I'm sorry. I keep talking. I drank too much rum. That's my excuse. I'm really just being rude. Okay.
Rude de Terrio? What'd you say? Or Ron de Terrio? Oh.
My complaint with Dewar's was that I found that it was really strong on the grain whiskey. And I thought to myself, I said, well, I can get Dewar's for about $16 a bottle, maybe cheaper. Talking about standard size. And but probably about 15, 16. But I've bought other blended scotches for a much lower price point that also exhibited that rather what I would call harsh grain whiskey feature, and I wasn't totally thrilled with it. Now, when the man, I gave it a B. It was good, I guess. But when the man brought in the 12-year, it was a lot better. But like Robert says, maybe 20 years ago would have been even much more better. But so if I'm going to drink a bunch of grain whiskey, pay a bunch of money. I don't want to pay a bunch of money. Okay,
Right.
now I could go get the Highland Mist that I paid $6.49 a bottle for if I want to do that. All right, but I don't want to start ranting and raving because I'll do that.
I noticed the liquor store managers only order what is a household name, like with Irish whiskey, Bushmills and Jameson. So when I ask them for patties, they go, "What? What's patties?" I never heard of patties. I said, "You never heard of patties?" So, like, getting back to the Scotch whiskeys, they probably do the same thing. Some of them, the ones up here do. Maybe down you, they probably order anything.
Oh yeah, down here we're just drowning in brands. We have so many brands we can't even keep up. Now, Whisky Scout? How do you score that Vita, the Life?
I will score that because I've had worse, a lot worse.
Don't cry for me, Tequila Vita.
I know what worse really is. This is a good entry level. I'm going to score it an 86 out of 100. It's drinkable. It's enjoyable as a mezcal. It's nothing that's going to wow you a whole lot, but you can sit and enjoy it. So it's an 86 out of 100. I believe the Dewar's is 20%. If I remember right, 20% single malt, and the rest is grain.
That was my guess. That was the guess I made. That's pretty good. I feel better about myself.
I remember right. I don't know if it's in here or not. I'm looking right now. You can go on. If I find it, I'll let you know. Thomas Metal.
Sort of like, yeah, sort of like most of your American blended 80-20. Hey, one thing I like about the Vita website, they're saying this is an entry-level product. They're telling you it's entry-level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, Thomas Metal, Eric, what do you score that?
Yeah, the Puff 6 point. It's definitely a much better product for me when it's closer to that room temperature. I'm getting more sweetness and more of the malt complexion out of the beer, which is what I like. And some of the alcohol gets diminished a little bit. But as Whisky Scout was saying, with his product being a entry-level product for the mezcals, I would say as far as IPAs or hazy hoppy beers are concerned, Puff, Resin, and even the Puff are not entry level. This is not for the faint of heart. It's a little bit harsh on the alcohol, 9.8. If I got to be completely honest, it's a little hot and boozy on the palate. Whereas I know apples and oranges, if you drink a what is it called? Dragon's Milk Stout from New Holland at 11%, you don't even taste any of the alcohol. This one isn't quite as masked, although I do think it's a really well-refined beer. Yeah, much better room temperature. I guess 85 is where I'm going to lean on that. I think if it was less alcohol and had more drinkability to it, I might be able to rate this one a little bit higher. But for what it is, definitely drink it warmer. That's where my rating kind of stands and what I like about the beer.
Yeah.
Big, bold, sticky beer, sticky, resinous, kind of New England-y style beers, Puff, and certainly the Puff from 6 Point is the way to go.
Yep.
Well, yeah, don't go into beer reviewing or beer tubing and ask people live what's a good beer, what's a good IPA to start off if I've never had IPA before. Don't recommend this one. Get your feet wet and comfy first.
Right. Well, I wish we could get 6 Point beers here, but we don't.
Yeah. That stinks because they brew it in Memphis. What the heck?
Hey, I'm 5.5, 6 hours from Memphis. What's going on around here? All right. So we had a good examination hangout. Yeah, okay, Thomas, man, that's beautiful. I got a gap in my teeth lip.
Not as bad as whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, well, I don't like, a lot of people get on Facebook and put disgusting pictures and stuff, and then they'll say, why doesn't people follow me? I don't know, maybe because they don't want to be, you know, on the verge of vomiting every time they look on Facebook. I don't know, it could be. And I got some of these friends on Facebook. It's usually women. I know that sounds sexist, but it's the truth. They always post these tragic stories like, hey, look, this dog got beaten up. And it's like, well, I don't get on Facebook. I know there's bad things in the world. I recognize the world is a fallen place. But when I get on there, I don't want to see you every day showing an abused animal.
I know
a story about someone getting kidnapped and beaten with pipes. It's like, yeah, it's really not when I'm looking to look at it. Sorry, that's just a commentary.
I know a guy that sends me after accident scenes where people are in pieces. He always does that, you know. And,
I don't want to see animal abuse. I don't want to see tragic stories. I can see that without getting on Facebook. I don't want people sending me unsolicited videos, so I can click on it and then my whole computer can get taken over by people from Nigeria. You know, it's just like kind of basic things. Now, talking about metaphysics, I was thinking about James P. Madonna today because I was thinking about some, if you want to call them metaphysical concepts, and I was thinking, man, that might be something he's interested in, but you know.
Well, if you have an article or a video that's related, like I was watching a popular show on the Travel Channel last night, a paranormal caught on camera.
Jesus.
It's a book. It's a book.
Whisky Scout.
Messing up your house and poltergeists and aliens and the Mothman and Sasquatches and all kinds of varieties of Bigfoot. What do you got?
Well, this book, well, I don't usually watch those kind of shows, but this book here is talking about the Ark of the Covenant, and it's saying that
it's in Oak Island. Yes.
Well, the ark, it was missing from the temple, Solomon's temple, when it was destroyed. They took it and they think they put it in a chapel or a church in Ethiopia. They think it might be there. They're not sure.
No, but if you read the book of Maccabees, I don't know if it's first or second Maccabees, it says that the prophet Jeremiah took the ark and hid it on Mount Moriah in a cave and sealed up the cave. That's in the Bible.
And it's guarded by a giant bullfrog, because Jeremiah likes bullfrogs.
Oh, God.
Jeremiah wrote a bullfrog.
He was a good friend of it, too. Joy to the world.
See, these kind of parties, folks, these kind of parties that I'm a part of, Mama told me not to come. But Randy Newman wrote that song, by the way. But anyway,
really,
this book is saying that the Virgin Mary, the Mother of God, the Theotokos, they're saying that Mary is the Ark of the Covenant.
But what was the highest rated beer of the time? What were they drinking back then?
A lot of wine. They guzzled a lot
of mead.
And
they had to drink the ales and everything because the water was contaminated. They had to drink fermented beverages in the Middle Ages. Oh yeah, Mary supposed Joseph to France.
Right. They drink wine, and they did drink beer in the days of Jesus and the Hebrews, but it wasn't spiced with hops, so it was probably
malt liquor.
I've never had omnibus. I'm not familiar with omnibus whatsoever. I only know about Batman and Superman, and I just renewed my subscription today to Batman and Detective Comics. And I used to have the Incredible Hulk, but they canceled that series because no one read it. And Fantastic Four, another one that nobody read. So, but anyway, too bad. So sad.
The Godzilla comic book is not a comic. It's the actual photos of all the Toho production and the other company that made Namra. It's a photo.
Well, there was an actual Godzilla comic book in the 1970s that was under license from Marvel,
Oh,
And they did a job. They did a terrible job. And I have a couple of issues. One where the Fantastic Four kind of fights Godzilla. It's totally idiotic. It was terrible artwork. Godzilla looked like a big what do you call those? Iguana. It was terrible, horrible.
yeah.
Anyway,
I asked,
Mono dragon.
it's just trash. I could show it to you. You'd laugh. You'd say, "This is." When I was 11 years old. I was 11 years old saying this is trash.
Godzilla
but anyway,
started off being mean and ferocious looking. Then they made him into like a clown, like a puppy. You made him cute.
Yeah, like
They went back to the mean looking Godzilla.
now he looks like a blooming onion from Outback.
I asked an old Japanese guy in a sushi bar if you've ever seen Godzilla swimming in Tokyo Bay, and he said yes. He with a serious face. So
Omnibus. I have some of those in, man. I'll show you that in a moment. What did you say, Tokyo Bay? What?
No, he's probably joking with me. No, the Japanese guy was serious. He said he did see him swimming. I said, what about those two little those cute little fairies that come with Mothra that sing the Mothra song?
Oh, yeah, I used to love those girls. They were cool. I like to hang out with them.
Yeah. Masura. Yeah, I remember them. They used to say Masura, which is Japanese for Mothra, but they were like twins. They talked at the same time.
Right. I loved them. I had a really special place in my heart for those twins.
Yeah.
Now,
Left the building.
You want the almond oil or baby oil? What do you? Oh, no, never mind.
I'm not part of that purient stuff. All right, get ready, in man. Get ready, in man, because here you go. Here you go. Here is
almond oil. No.
All right, we're gonna get off in 8 minutes. Believe me, Whisky Scout's probably rolling his eyes saying, "What have I gotten into?" Eric's saying, "I've been with him. Eric's been friends with me since 2012."
Hey, it's better to talk about that for 10 hours.
His name is not Shazam. Yeah, his name is not Shazam because that was a copyright issue. His real name is Captain Marvel, but Marvel Comics got the copyright. So that was interesting. Here's another omnibus. Big book.
Shazam.
Batman versus I don't remember that one.
That was one of those crossovers, Batman versus the Hulk. Here's a very good one.
Bicentennial.
Raise so I can see the cover.
It's Captain America fighting all sorts of battles throughout history. He's fighting in the Indian Wars. Something happened. He went back in time. He was in the Revolutionary War. Then he was fighting the Confederacy. Of course, I thought he should have helped the Confederacy. But anyway, and then he's fighting in World War II.
Yeah, I don't think much get a problem for Captain America.
He's fighting the moon in the future. So this is a very interesting comic book.
Yeah.
I always liked Fantastic Four or the X-Men. Those were my favorites. I used to have the very first issue of X-Men. I lent it to my cousin. He took it home with him, was going to bring it back. Water heater caught fire, burned down the damn house.
Muhammad Ali again. Superman.
1962. 1963. Oh, no,
That's funny. Muhammad Ali versus Superman. That's so funny.
All right, we'll be back to you, Yum Coffee, with too much feedback.
Yum.
All right, here's Muhammad Ali versus Superman. So we've got Superman from Planet Krypton fighting Cassius Clay from Louisville, Kentucky. And there's people in the audience like Lucille Ball, Batman. You might notice Sonny Bono, Cher was there. They weren't sitting together. And
that's an epic sounding comic.
That was the most incredible thing about this book, because they had the entire audience was Wolfman Jack, and it's the entire audience is celebrities, and they had I mean, just on and on. I think Ronald Reagan was sitting in there. And then
Ronnie Reagan.
and the
Well,
yeah,
don't
these
recall.
aliens set up the fight. Aliens set. Now at the end, of course, Cassius Clay says what? Superman, we all agree. So they made up.
Got along together. Oh, how nice.
But
That was
in the fight,
we is the greatest.
well, he didn't say that. All right, now in the fight, I think he knocked Superman out. And
That's politically correct.
Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay had to train with aliens. See, and all sorts of things happened in this bizarre story. And and then when Superman got knocked out, they said, "Down goes Superman! Down goes Superman!" No, I don't know that. All right. Anyway, now what do you got to say, Young Coffee? There might be a lot of background noise, but what do you got to say?
Well, sorry about all the background noise, but if you can pay attention to the noise at the foreground, what we got is a porter and drinking that over at Brewing Brewing Company, drinking that live on site. You guys have seen me here before. 6.3% ABV. Not sure what the bittering hops are, but there are certainly some bittering hops because you do get this huge bittering feel on the beer, which is incredible because you don't usually get that on a porter. So it's dark. If you can see it, dark, one finger white caramel head, and no real fruit or anything like that. It's just a natural beer. It's just a natural dark beer for President. I think it's well worth $8 that you can get for a pretty good pint. And what's good about a pint of this is that you can usually be pretty good after one of these. So you can go a while after this. I wouldn't advocate having more than one in one sitting, but we can still do well. So it's a winner. Presto. Definitely, guys. It's worth it. It's a real good porter. Take more coffee at the front because stouts tend to be more chocolate and things like that. This bad boy tends to be more coffee, so getting a lot of coffee on that beer. It's there. So it's very coffee. So that's what I have to say. Back to y'all. What do I score it? I did a recording of this just now, and the score that I gave it, pretty solid, 97 out of 100. 97 out of 100. So,
That's pretty good. Solid. We're going to let you know the audio, but
that sounded good.
there we are. We got a person joining us from California at a live hangout. He is in a restaurant. He is drinking. He is joining us. This is how big this is, folks. We're
this big.
We're bigger than U.S. Steel. Like
bigger than the USSR.
Like Hyman Roth said, Michael, we're bigger than U.S. Steel. Now, any last comments before we get off of this? Because I have got to go.
Coors Extra Gold. All right.
Oh man, go ahead. Torment me more. Any last comments?
I will not be around for Fandango Friday because I got to go to James P. Madonna's favorite area of Massachusetts in Salem and play a concert tomorrow evening at 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
So I'll be thinking of you
around.
guys while rocking out.
No, I won't be around either. That's why we're doing Thunder and Thursday. I have to go do something.
Ooh, so good call, Jay. All right.
Yeah. Next week we'll probably be able to. Let me look at my calendar. Next week, I think we can do Fandango Friday. Yeah. And then Wild Card Wednesday, of course.
Yummy. Whiskey Scout.
All right. So thanks to Coffee, also known as Mike. James P. Madonna and Whisky Scout, Robert, and Thomas Meadow, also known as Eric, and also known as Massachusetts Beer Reviews, and Cody Speech. Thank you for joining. Huh?
I say correct, and all that.
Oh, yeah,
Edmund,
celebration
tonight.
Oh boy, if y'all looked at my fridge right now, you'd be so impressed. Maybe you wouldn't, because you'd say, wait a minute. You say, I see all this. I do have some really great craft beers in my fridge right now. Somebody sent them to me. I mean, it's dynamite. And then, of course, I got Miller High Life Light also. Let's see, private chat. Let me reveal to the public what's going on here. Somebody, doers single malt 18 years. Oh, yeah, of course.
Ooh.
Jay, change the screen to Michael.
I think
Eric's my video.
I think only the host can see live comments.
Assistant director. Sure.
Eric's saying, Jay, change the screen to Michael. He's my video coach. Present him, Ron, says Whisky Scout.
And I said thank you.
They're basically saying, get it together, man. Come on, you're supposed to be hosting this thing. What's your issue? And I'm not. I don't make any claims to competence. I'm sorry, I don't.
Ooh. And naturalized. There you go. That guy's freaking everything.
And this will be the conclusion of the Tarot Cards by Damian Owens this Sunday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The conclusion of
of
Pentacles, the last suit.
Okay.
Yes, and
So James is doing that angle there with the metaphysical approach. And I did up some political stuff earlier today, which some people liked, others hated, I'm sure. Next, let's see, Sunday we have Stout Sunday. I can't wait to show my stout. I want to show y'all my stout. And then
there goes Michael.
I don't know why that's funny. All right, and then next Wednesday we got Wild Card Wednesday. It goes on and on. It goes on and on till the break of dawn. And so that's it. Last chance for comments because we're already 2 minutes over.
Remember the Alamo.
and the copper divining rods have been very accurate with our people showing up asking questions. Very good, smooth sailing.
Divining rods.
Yes, people have been coming aboard asking questions, and the divining rods are just flying. They're flying more than ever. But anyway, Stout. Oh, you're going to be on Stout Sunday today? Yeah, Stout Sunday is Sunday. Yeah, and it's about stout or porters, I think.
Yeah, you're right. The trolls will show up, CO, but screw it. All right, y'all have a good night now.
The potion number 9.